Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. I did not search through my history. I don't think I've done any of these season sets before, but I know I haven't done this complete thing because I haven't had this before. This is Eastbound and Down. This is probably... This is my favorite comedy series HBO's ever aired. And it's one I came into late. And if you don't know, it's a Danny McBride show. Will Ferrell's an executive producer on it. And Danny McBride basically plays John Rocker. If you don't know who John Rocker is, he was a pitcher for the Braves, Atlanta Braves, who kind of bounced around the league and said some stuff, various things like he complained about, what did he say? He complained about playing for New York, or playing in New York because the gays would rub up against him on the subway, like just crazy homophobic or racist stuff. And it killed his career. He kind of ran out of baseball. And the only thing I know he did after that was he played in this low-budget slasher called The Greenskeeper, which I'm a huge fan of that movie. Well, Dan McBride based his character of Kenny Powers around John Rocker and made this series that ended up blowing up and becoming like a huge thing for him. And now he's on his third show on HBO, because there's Vice Principals, which I love, and I'll finish up, and Righteous Gemstones, which I'm caught up on. So I'm going to go through this. And let's go through the whole thing here. This is I found this fairly recent. It's like $30. And the reason I ended up getting it was the individual seasons now are all out of print. I have bought 1, 2, and 3 for $10 usually a piece. Because what happened was I'd heard about the show. I ain't going to watch it, you know. I had not seen Danny McBride or anything. It just looks stupid. And a buddy of mine, I don't know if you're watching or not, Super Ugly from, what the fuck do you... I don't think God, what was the name of that? Shit, it wasn't Geek Speak. Damn, what was the name of their podcast? It was The Geek Savants. Dave DeWanch and a bunch of other guys. Great sleazy podcast, ain't been around forever. Super Ugly recommended it to me. All right, cool. I rented it. He's like, man, rent it from Netflix. Rent season 1. If you don't like it, watch out. So I rented season 1. Right there. This starts off with Kenny. He's been kicked out of baseball. It's been a couple of years. He's down on his luck. He's moving back to his hometown, and he's going to be a substitute teacher. And he's living with his brother. And while he's there, he's trying to get back into the majors. He reconnects with the girl he's trying to bang in high school, who is Katie Mixon right here. That's his brother. I can't remember his name. That's his sister-in-law. That's Clegg, his buddy, who runs the local bar. That's the principal, who is engaged to April's her name. And that's Stevie Janowski, who's the band teacher, who was a huge Kenny fanboy back in the day. And this is just him trying to redeem himself. And, oh God, I can't repeat half the stuff they say, but this show has me laughing constantly. It's one of these. Me and my father don't watch a lot of the same shows, same movies. This is one we both love. First time I showed him, he's like, this is hilarious. And matter of fact, he's probably going to get my old sets. He has a fishing camp that he wants to stock up with DVDs and Blu-rays when he goes down there to go fishing. I'm like, I'm probably giving him my old sets. So you got 2 discs here. Got extra. Oh, the second disc is in the player because we're watching this other night. And it ends with Kenny being told by the scout, hey, you got a job with I can't remember what team it is now. So Kenny quits his job at the school, talks April into going with him. And then as he's picking her up and they're getting ready to leave, he's spent a little bit of signing bonus he had, or money he thought he had as a signing bonus. It's whatever money he's saved up recently. He gets a call from the scout. Scout saying, yeah, you don't have the job. So the first season ends, and it could have been the way the series ends if they didn't do another season with. They stop at a gas station. Kenny sends April in to get something to drink. And when she comes back out, he is gone and just left her luggage there. This is a hard show to explain. That's our season 1. Well then, and what year was this? Let me see. Former Major League pitcher Kenny Powers used to have it all. Fame, endorsements, a lucrative contract. And after hard living took its toll on his fastball, Kenny has found himself crashing his brother's family teaching gym class at a North Carolina middle school he once attended. Wherever he goes, Kenny wreaks havoc with his boorish behavior and he makes a preemptive romantic strike on his former high school squeeze, now a teacher engaged to the school principal. Out of baseball and discarded by the game he abused so well, can Kenny succeed in his plot to triumphantly return to the big leagues? got making up commentary, greatest hits, Schaefer mode. Oh, that's it. You get introduced to Ashley Schaefer, who is like the local, I think it's BMW Mercedes dealer. And Kenny goes there to try to talk him out somebody so he would like to do an appearance. Ashley Schaefer is Will Ferrell, basically playing Ric Flair. Ric Flair was a car salesman. And it's like the best thing Will Ferrell's ever done to me. I'm of the mindset that Will Ferrell works in short bursts. That's why he was great on Saturday Night Live. And I'm not give a fuck about it. I don't want to see anything else. Like, I'm not an Anchorman fan. I can't stand Elf. But that's season 1. Season 2. I forgot to see what year this was. 2014. And when I first watched it, it was probably... season 2 had just aired. 3 hadn't aired yet. And when did season 2 air? 2014. No. I don't think they both aired the same year, did they? I know season 3 was getting ready to air. Oh. What was it? Oh. Sorry, I'm having to fix this. They make these damn cases, these eco cases, so cheap. All right, so season 2, Kenny with cornrows. So when we find out what happened to Kenny, when he didn't, the scout didn't happen, he stole Stevie's credit card and hauled ass to Mexico. And now he lives down in Mexico, has a cockfight, a rooster he puts in the cockfights. He's got the cornrows. He calls himself something else. And he goes and watches the local Mexican baseball team play. And the coach of the team recognizes him and wants to be on the team. Kenny tries to play it on the side. So he's going to start pitching for the Churros. He thinks this is his way back in the major leagues. And you also have, in this time frame, Stevie is trying to find him. And we get introduced in this season. About the only things that really happened in this one that's big, and this is a very funny season. They filmed it in Puerto Rico, I found out, is Stevie meets the woman he ends up marrying, who is the apartment Kenny rents. The guy who owns it, it's this guy's sister. And we get to meet Kenny's dad. That's part of the reason Kenny's in Mexico. He's been looking for his dad. Because they mentioned in the first season, like, his dad was not around for a lot. He's played by Don Johnson, who's a scumbag. And it ends with Kenny's doing so good down in Mexico, he gets scouted by this talent scout, baseball talent scout, played by Matthew McConaughey, who gets him a deal with a minor league team. Which means Kenny's going to get to come back. So, let's read the back here. Kenny Powers was once the top of his role. Now spurned by the big leagues and humiliated his own hometown. He sailed south of the border to lick his wounds and live the outlaw lifestyle. In season 2 of this outrageous, irreverent, half-hour hit HBO comedy series, Kenny will take up residence in a small Mexican town. There, joined by his lackey Stevie Janowski, a new love interest, Vida, Ana de la Rigua. It's this lady here, and the only thing I've ever seen her in besides this is Nacho Libre's Don Johnson. He will fashion a comeback center that involves a local baseball team, the Charros, a 50 rich owner, Sebastian Cisneros, as Michael Pena, and it's 50 rich owner, Michael Cisneros. Whether Kenny's always inflated ambitions becomes reality remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be a hell of a ride. There is a great scene when he starts pitching. He comes out to the pitcher mound wearing an American flag as a cape to a real American. And he's like grabbing his junk. You gotta have a certain sense of humor to get in this show, and this just fits perfect for mine. Okay, so we got season 3 now. I'm back. You're welcome. This is 3rd season. All right, by this one, Kenny knows he's playing for the Mermen, which is a Myrtle Beach team. I don't know. Maybe they're the Angels. Are they the Rangers? They're the Mermen. I think they're like the Rangers AA, AAA team. He's doing good. Got a best friend as a catcher. Doing good. Then, I think it's episode 1. April comes to visit him, and he finds out he's got a baby. She is pregnant and had his kid. And she stays the night, and the next day, she leaves the baby there with him. And he's trying to figure out how to take care of his baby, play for the team, and get back into the major leagues. That's most of the season. There's some craziness in here. Because Kenny, all he has is one of those motorcycles got two wheels in the front, one in the back. So, like, he's trying to drive around town to find April or find somebody to watch baby. So, you got the baby stuffed in a backpack like a head of lettuce in there for the baby to lay on it. But my favorite scene in this entire damn series happens in this season. And for a while there, everybody thought this was going to be the last season because the way it ends, Kenny's best friend, I cannot remember his name now, dies. And Kenny shows up for the guy's funeral, even though the family does not want him there. And he's wearing this crazy outfit. He's got one of them kaboom boom boxes with him. And he puts it up there and starts playing the song Far Behind the fucking candle box. And he's dancing to it and like dancing around the casket. He's reading a speech and the family starts chasing him. And I've got two different friends of mine that swear up and down when I die, even though I'm not getting buried, I'm getting cremated, they're going to do that at my services. And this ends when he gets picked up for the major team. Because their pitcher gets run over, if I'm remembering right. And Kenny shows up, freaks out, and leaves and fakes his death. Like crashes his car. Everybody thinks he's dead. Bleaches his hair and shows back. And it ends with him showing back up at April's house. And she's thought he's dead. So, and we're like, okay, well, he's going to live with April. That's going to be his life. We're thinking, okay, this is, the series is over. And that's what everybody thought. So what's it say on the back here? In season 3, Kenny brings his unapologetic, crudish behavior to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and resurrects his baseball career as a closer for the Myrtle Beach Mermen. Even as he continues to party hard in his new locale, Kenny grapples with growing older, his hometown sweetheart, and dealing with the rival of up-and-comers who challenge him in the league. With special appearances from Will Ferrell as Ashley Schaefer showing back up, Matthew McConaughey, Craig Robinson, Jerry Minor, and others, Kenny Power brings the heat to the Redneck Riviera in season 3 Eastbound and Down promises to be the wildest yet. Yeah, this is, oh God. His mama, played by Lily Tomlin. Seth Rogen's in it. Then we get our final season, which this is just insane. You don't retire from being awesome. Eastbound and Down, the complete 4th and final season. All right, by this time, Kenny, April is a realtor. They got 2 kids. The boy, Toby's grown up. He's probably about 8. They got a little girl, can't remember her name now, Cassie maybe. And Kenny works for a rental car place where he hates his boss. And he ends up running into an old friend of his. Oh, he has to take a rental car to this I think they live around Atlanta. It's like a television studio set. And it's like a sports show, like a daily sports show, kind of like an ESPN. Like I used to watch Sports Center or Baseball Tonight, kind of like that. And it's a guy I used to play with, and the guy invites Kenny to come out and party with him that night. And Kenny basically realizes he wants to be famous again. He's quitting his car job, and over the course of this season, gets his fame back, but ends up losing his family and everything. Stevie goes nuts and gets like plastic surgery. And the final episode does all this craziness. Like all kinds of stuff happen. April leaves him. Kenny freaks out, moves to Africa, and becomes part of the Peace Corps and goes and lives with this tribe somewhere in rural Africa. And marries a woman, and then dies, and his kids, 2 kids, and April does not leave him. He goes back to her, and she gets killed in the alleyway when they're walking. They finish watching the movie. They walk through an alleyway. She gets killed, and her pearls fall, Batman style, crime alley here. And that's when he goes to Africa. And when he dies, his kids show up, and it's like, oh God, what is her name? I can't think of the girl. Lindsay Lohan is the daughter. Stevie's there, and you find out at the end that a good chunk of this season was Kenny. He's such a writing his life story. Like the first season, that one where he's a substitute. He's got it on. He's written it. It's an audiobook on cassette. He's constantly listening to it. The second season, and maybe into the third. No, the second season is when Stevie starts doing the new one, and then you find out in the third, Stevie went broke because he self-published the book. This one, and it ends with him. He's, I guess, still the rental car guy. April's got her job, and he's writing up. What you saw is his life story. He's writing a manuscript for a movie. So the whole season was just him telling how he wanted his life to end. Kenny Powers, Danny McBride, is back in the 4th and final season of outrageous HBO hit series. Okay, I guess this was 2011, 2012, 2013, 14. The picture is now swinging in suburbs as a married man and father too, but a reunion with ex-teammate Guy Young, now the host of a raucous sports talk show, convinces Kenny to get back in the game. Will America's favorite baseball player fulfill his ultimate destiny? Get ready for Kenny's epic journey back to the top. So just a great, I love this show. And for what I paid for this, that all I had needed to go was that fourth, and that fourth season was like almost the same price. So I'm like, screw it. Got a nice little box set. And it's kind of odd because it feels like the show's become forgotten now. Because Vice Principals is this next show after this. It did 2 seasons. I don't know a lot of people saw it, but Righteous Gemstones is blowing up. It's his newest series with John Goodman where Danny McBride's playing their family televangelist. But I'm out, everybody. Go watch Eastbound and Down. It's on Max. It was on Amazon Prime for a long time, but now that Max it's on there. This set at Walmart right now is like $25 or $30. Now, definitely not for kids. This is one where my cousin and her husband at the time fell in love with it, and like we would have to when we'd watch episodes of this night. That's when their kids got game time because their kids were like 6 and 10. No, about 6 and 11. I was like, okay, neither one of y'all can watch this. Go back to y'all's room and play video games. We sit there and watch this and just laugh our asses off. Matter of fact, one of my trips down, my cousin wanted to see the new season bad enough. I was downloading them. She covered my gas. I have to drive. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from my house to hers. She's like, coming down for the weekend. She goes, I'll cover you gas. So I drove down and watched it. But I'm out. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.